After an exciting first series of the day, Lanners unfortunately lost to Trinitas Esports Odyssey, but it is time now for their, hopefully, or maybe, their redemption. It is Lanners up against eMerge Charlie, and joining me in the booth is no one else but Herbie.
Hello, hello. Good to be here for the first time in tonight's fantastic stream that is going to take us all the way through to around 11 Central European time. This will be the second matchup on the B stream over here, and we are still watching Lanners, as you already mentioned. The unbeaten top seeds of Division 2.2 dropping down into the lower bracket after a bit of an underperformance in their series against Trinitas. They will have to try and bounce back against an eMerge Charlie team that has advanced to this round by virtue of a forfeit win over Godalians Aztecs in the first round of the lower bracket. Not the ideal way to kickstart your playoff run. You need to be getting that experience against your fellow lower seeds before you have to take on a big hitter like Lanners. So eMerge Charlie are very much going to be into the deep end in this series.
Yeah, but an unfortunate series as well for Lanners. They came into playoffs with a 9-0 record, ended up losing 4-2 against Trinitas Esports Odyssey earlier on, and currently Lanners, they still have another chance up against eMerge Charlie now in the losers bracket. Whilst we're speaking over at the A stream, Trinitas Esports Odyssey is playing in the winners bracket final up against Symbiotis Toxin, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but hey, it is going to be exciting. Nonetheless, we're trying to get some of the players in some technical difficulties happening here in uh, behind the scenes. So Herbie, just inform me. Just actually, wait, never mind. Don't inform me about the teams. I'll ask you for your predictions instead. Who do you think will be taking this series?
Well, it'd be silly to bet against Lanners. They still have the precedent of league play to look back on. A 9-0 record in Division 2 is nothing to sniff at. When you get up into sort of Division 1, Division 2 kind of area, it's potentially a widely varying skill set that you have going on, but certainly competitive. You look at the Division 2 playoffs and think, are there any teams who are truly not in contention to win the playoffs? And you have to ask that question of eMerge Charlie as well, one of the pre-season favourites to win Division 2.1. Ended up finishing with a 6-3 record, good for third in the division. Playing with a substitute today. No Sten. Gutbuster is in instead for them. How is that potentially going to affect their game style? I get the sense that Lanners will be disappointed after losing to Trinitas in the opening round of the winners bracket, and that their playoff run is not done. There's going to be more to see from them beyond this round, so I'm going to go for them in 6 games.
Oh yeah, indeed. I mean, I saw how Lanners were playing uh, earlier on in the series where they were facing up against Trinitas Esports Odyssey. It wasn't the best of games. First game they lost 6-1. Second game they brought it back and took that one to tie things up in the series, and then later on, Trinitas Esports Odyssey just picked up the third game and then the fourth game, fifth game. As no, not as well. I'm sorry. Fifth game went to Trinitas, no, Lanners. Lanners bringing it back up, finding some motivation. And then in the sixth one, they just, Lanners, not Lanners, Trinitas Esports Odyssey just ended it in fashion and just sent them down to the losers bracket, where they will be facing eMerge Charlie now. And throughout that series as well, it wasn't the best. They were making a lot of mistakes, just, you know, double committing, just being panicked, not trusting each other. But hey, let's start with the second series of the day. Lanners up against eMerge Charlie in the losers bracket 2.1.
A big opportunity for both of these teams to advance to the third round and try and clinch their place in Championship Sunday tomorrow. Lanners using their second chance effort after being eliminated from the winners bracket by Trinitas. They lost the first game of that series 6-1 and will be looking for a stronger start in this one against an eMerge Charlie team that is not warmed up. They didn't get to play their first round in the lower bracket, and they are playing with a substitute in Gutbuster instead of their regular starter Stenkovic. So opportunities for both teams that perhaps may be out of form in this series, but it's a chance to get back into form and set yourself up for a good run later in the evening.
Boyard will be the one to apply some pressure for Lanners. Spylo once again just backflipping in defense. Miller taking his beautiful time, can't really get it past Clowns. Now Boyard getting cut off by Spylo in the defense once again, being a bit too aggressive there in defense, not trusting each other enough as Clowns now going for the shot, gets blocked by Moyad. That shot will go in though as Beresford grabs the lead.
Good start for eMerge Charlie, getting the first goal on the board just under a minute into this game one. The clearance from Moyad was a weak one. Gutbuster and Beresford were both onto the follow-up opportunity, and it goes for them. The first goal goes to eMerge Charlie. Lanners looking a little too similar to the previous series right now. They're going to want a quick response to going behind. They get a good kick-off. Spylo will pinch the ball over to the far corner. Miller is in there to follow it up and just flashes the ball across the face of the goal. Moyad is there to keep the play alive in the corner, and we've got a Rule 1 up there on the sidewall. Quite acrobatic to keep it locked in up there, but a 2-on-2 scenario temporarily. eMerge Charlie rushing forwards. Spylo has got Miller in support. It is Blones on the far side though, gets some room into the corner. They've got Beresford middle, and the pinch along the ground doesn't go to the teammate.
It's still a Rule 1 in that same corner. Gutbuster and Moya just giving each other just hugs, just asking each other, how was your day today? Oh, it was brilliant, you know. Looking forward to the playoffs. Oh, for us it wasn't that good, but as a big Spylo will tie things up for Lanners. Oh, respect for Gutbuster and Moya though, just respecting the rules, the golden rules of Rocket League. But I also forgot to mention my predictions. I do believe this series will go to eMerge Charlie actually.
A very bold prediction indeed, but 1-1 at the beginning of game one. Neither team has established themselves as the clear favourites yet, but eMerge Charlie, as soon as they concede the equaliser, we're back into freeze mode, and they are back in front. On the pass from Beresford, extra touch just threw Moyad off their clearance, and Lowndes has an open net.
Unfortunate that Moyad is, you know, doing something he shouldn't be doing, but also the defense and positioning in that net is probably what caused them to concede. But nonetheless, 3 minutes left on the clock. Miller now trying to find a great clear, gets blocked by Beresford as Spylo now trying to relieve his teammates from some pressure. Miller back into the middle. Moyad's waiting, gets a block on Gutbuster, but no one's following that up. Lowndes now dropping it down for Beresford. Beresford with a shot, a bit too high, but Gutbuster will finish it off in fashion.
Yeah, nice goal though for Gutbuster, his first of the series, coming in as a sub, but filling the position very adequately indeed so far. Confident finish into the roof of the net to open up a 2-goal lead for eMerge Charlie as we approach the halfway point of this game one. Lanners have got their work cut out for them if they want to take the opening game win of this series. It's a good kick-off for them, but they've given the ball away in midfield to Gutbuster. Beresford will chase it in, and Blount is doing some damage on the line, but Beresford's pass across the net was not good enough accuracy-wise. Gutbuster will have an opportunity fall to him from the edge of the area. That one's cleared up to the halfway line by Spylo, and Blount will turn on it and send the ball back into the offensive third. The offensive pressure has mostly been with eMerge Charlie in the opening exchanges of this series.
Already Miller just trying to relieve his teammates from some pressure as Moya, that's an unfortunate touch in front of his own net, but no one's there to capitalize on their mistake. Gutbuster now popping it into the middle, no one's there to follow it up. Miller passing it back into Beresford. That is a very good shot, but it's just a bit too wide. Moya finds the clear, but Gutbuster will send it back into that corner. Miller trying to clear it. Will he do so? A bit too unfortunate, going back into the blue off.
Shots on target are 6-1 to eMerge Charlie at the moment. Lanners have struck gold with their only attempt on net of the game. Will they double up on that? Miller does get the shot towards the net, but it was blocked down by an eMerge Charlie player at the source. Beresford is up. A very active defender and attacker in this game, Beresford. Speed is giving Lanners some trouble as he does steal the ball off a Lanners attacker. It's now Miller in their own corner, but every time they do get the ball forwards, there's an eMerge Charlie player on the other end of it. They send it right back into the far corner and chase possession down, looking to fashion out an opportunity for a free goal advantage, but you have to say, eMerge Charlie are looking comfortable at the moment. Lanners have got to do some damage, and that will do it. 2-3 now with a minute to go. Spylo on the pass from Miller. They carve open the eMerge Charlie defence in a swift counter-attacking move.
what a team play that was from Moya to Miller, and then finally to Spilo for the finish. 2-3 and 1 minute, less than 1 minute actually, left on the clock. Beresford now applying some more pressure. Spilo a bit awkward, blocking Blounce in the process. Moya now popping it back into the middle. Scott Buster was waiting. Blounce now into the middle once again. Moya with the block on Beresford as Miller now trying to clear it. It does do so. Godbuster blocking Spilo on that attack as Blounce can't really do much for Moya with the clear. Miller with the block. Spilo's waiting in the middle. Now popping it into Blounce. 30 seconds left on the clock. Blounce can't find a good shot enough to put it in. As Moya now trying to do something with the ball, dropping it back into the middle. Godbuster, no! Just ruined the opportunity for his teammate to extend the lead.
10 seconds to go though. Lanners had possession where they want it, at least temporarily, but that back pass from Moyad has got a little bit too much heat on it. They're going to have to go end to end here if they want to equalise in the final few seconds. Bylaw keeps the ball up into the corner. Flown steps up to make the clear, and that will be game 1 victory for eMerge Charlie. Controlled the game arguably from start to finish. Lanners' goal with a minute to go gave them a little bit of a lifeline, but most of the possession was with eMerge Charlie, and they're going to be feeling very confident heading into the next game.
So a bit on update for eMerge Charlie. Sten seems to be back on track now, so they're going to be doing a mid-series sub, switching out Godbuster, I believe, for Sten to come back and play this game. Yes, it is Godbuster they're switching off. So it's going to be exciting to see how this will affect them. Will it be a huge effect, like in performance-wise? Maybe they extend their lead more. But not too shabby, not too bad by Godbuster, you know, coming in clutch for eMerge Charlie, taking that first game as well of the series. It's a big statement by Godbuster. Don't know if we'll ever see him later on in these playoffs. Perhaps we might see him. All depends on what the schedule says for Sten, but hey, big statement by Godbuster for next season. Maybe someone that will be interested to sign him to their team. But nonetheless, we will go into game at number 2 in the series. eMerge Charlie currently leading with 1-0 in series score. Will Lanners be able to fight back?
Well, I'm sure Gutbuster will be perfectly happy to perhaps retire from these Division 2 playoffs with a perfect win-loss record. Certainly did his job very well in the opening game of the series, got an important goal for them. But now Stenkovic is back in for eMerge Charlie, and we will see if that has an impact upon their game. If it's a positive impact, that's very bad news for Lanners, who already looked out of sorts against the chopped and changed eMerge lineup. Beresford will float a shot on target here, and Moyad will save towards the corner. Lanners now try and negotiate midfield with a couple of passes, but can only make it to the halfway line before Stenkovic swats possession back into the far corner. Now centres it for Flones. The follow-up shot hits the crossbar. Double commit from the Lanners defenders there, stepping up to make the clear, but once again they're on the back foot in the first 30 seconds of this game.
Great pressure already by eMerge Charlie, just piling it up on Lanners. A lot of demos as well was happening earlier, just providing some clean air for the team. Nonetheless, Beresford is there with an early shot, a bit too wide as it hits the post. Ooh, that could have been dangerous for Lanners, but it is their turn to apply some pressure of their own. Now Blounce getting the clear, a bit awkward by Spilo here, but he does end up doing the job of clearing the ball. And now Beresford trying to get it past Miller, can't do so. Blounce waiting patiently on the bounce. It is Sten to put it away, but Spilo just quick to cut them off. That's an open net for Blounce, but Moyad's just waiting below him. Blounce as well didn't have that much of boost to work with.
Once again, slow offensive start to the game for Lanners. No attempts on target in the first 90 seconds. eMerge Charlie look the more likely to score. They may be presented with a chance to do just that as Stenkovic battles the ball into the far corner. Now lays off a pass towards the centre, but Spylor wins possession back for the Lanners. Blones into the far left corner. Beresford helps it on. eMerge Charlie negotiate through midfield. Blones chips the ball over the top. There's a race to it, and Stenkovic will tap the ball into an open net. 1-0 to eMerge Charlie here in game 2.
What a pass by Blounce, getting past one, getting past the second, and it is the open net for Stenkovic to put it in and grab the lead for eMerge Charlie. Off to a positive start for eMerge. Already great performance by Sten and everyone in that team, just helping out each other in the defense, offense, everything just seems so positive now again.
Lanners still have not gotten themselves going, and they can't afford to wait too much longer, even though this is a best-of-7 series. As soon as you go 2-0 down, you're in a big hole in terms of the amount of winning you need to do in the remainder, and they are all at sea at the moment. This clearance from Moyad might just give them a little time to get forwards. Moyad drags the ball past Flounds. Chance for Miller perhaps on the far post, and this one's going to bobble in front. Spylaw finishes the play off. A strange bounce there in the far corner, but Lanners capitalise on it and score an important equaliser.
What a shot by Spylaw. Great equalizer as well. Great pass by Miller out into the middle as well. Nonetheless, equalized, tied up 1-1 in this game as Moyad now trying to extend it. Can't really find the touch on the ball he needed. Beresford now waiting for Moyad to touch. He does find it, blocking out Miller in the process. Sten now grabs the ball, putting it into Beresford as Moyad now grabbing the possession, getting it into the side. No one's pushing him currently. Gets it over one, can't get it over Sten as Spylaw now up high on it as well. Tries to get the block, he can't do so. Beresford gets it on the one, but Moyad's waiting in the middle. Miller will go for the shot, he nearly gets it, but Sten's just in the way.
Beresford, creative touch there to send the through ball over to Stankovic, who has some room to manoeuvre in the far corner, collects a 100 boost, has to leave it for Vlones as Vlones looks for the centre on that one. Lanners will recover possession in their back right corner, but it's a turnover in front of the net for Stankovic. Vlones is up there, awkward touch. Beresford is going to have to rush back at the halfway line to deal with this on-rushing Lanners player in Spylaw. Good touch from Spylaw into the far corner. Vlones, eMerge Charlie just cracking a little bit at the moment defensively, but they're going to come forwards again and aim to retake the lead. Stankovic was demoed by Spylaw on the way forwards, and that will prevent them from making any significant inroads as we have 90 seconds to go in game 2. Lanners looking slightly more confident, but of course eMerge Charlie have that 1-0 series lead. They can afford to lose this game, and you sense that there might still be a goal in it for them.
Oh, that's an unfortunate touch in the defense there, but Spylaw will clear it out, saving his team from murder. Moyad with a shot, another save by Flounds. So far, this game has been more intact by both teams. Not a lot of, mistakes happening, a lot of, just back and forth, saving each other. Of course, Demos being up in physical, fakes out here by Moyad. Great flick as well. Miller with a shot a bit too high as well. Sten now leaves it open for one of his teammates. No one's there to capitalize upon for Beresford. He will be the one to grab the lead.
Dear oh dear, what a poor turnover in front of the net that is from Moyad. Loads of time on the ball, but ends up flicking it straight into the path of Beresford, and as the last defender back, you cannot afford to make an unforced error like that. 2-1 to eMerge Charlie with 38 seconds to go. Lanners will have to come from behind again, and offensively they still haven't quite gotten going yet, and they've made those mistakes that eMerge Charlie simply haven't replicated themselves. Now a 2-on-1 down the far side. Beresford skips past one defender, flicks it in for Flones. 3-1 with 25 seconds left in game 2. That should be a 2-0 series lead.
Oh, what a pass by Beresford. He tried so hard to get the angle, can't really do so. The best he could was get it onto the post for Flounds, which he happily was actually ready for the pass in the middle. Great passing play there as well, great trust by Flounds, just reading it out, reading his teammates out as well. Already we're entering those last 10 seconds of the game. Spylaw popping it into Moyad, can't really do much. Moyad now, Sten trying to clear the ball, he keeps it into the side. Flounds just getting sent back down by Sten. 1 second left, it seems unlikely to score 2 more goals, but the ball hasn't dropped yet. Spylaw passing it into the middle, that's a shot a bit too high, the ball drops. eMerge takes the second game.
Another 3-goal performance for eMerge Charlie. Lanners not living up to the potential that their league play efforts may have suggested. Just inconsistent in all areas of the pitch. Whenever they come forwards in possession, they don't really look like they have ideas, except for the rare occasions, such as the goal that they scored in this game. It was of such a high quality. You have to ask the question why we didn't see it at any other point in the game or even the series so far. Too much inconsistency, as opposed to eMerge Charlie, who look dangerous every time they come forwards. All 3 players, and even Gutbuster in the previous game of the series, know what they're doing when they have possession, and they're taking it to the net and giving Lanners some difficulties defensively. Fully deserved a 2-0 series lead, but they're only halfway there. They want this next game as well to really put Lanners to the sword.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how Lanners will respond to all of this. Already losing a series earlier on, and now on the urge of losing another one, maybe getting kicked out from playoffs completely. Remember, they came into playoffs as a team that was, undefeated and very dominant, 9-0 record. And coming into playoffs, already losing a series, and now on the urge of losing the second one, well, the second chance one. It's just not that brilliant for Lanners, like mentally and physically. But hey, it is now time for game number 4, I believe. Game 4 or game 3? I
Game
can't
3.
remember. Game 3.
Game 3. 2-0 series lead for eMerge Charlie, and you're absolutely right about how Lanners are not really living up to their potential, so that is a great first goal for them to score just 8 seconds in. Lanners dropped just 8 games in the entirety of Division 2.2 league play, and in the last hour and a half or so in these Division 2 playoffs, they've already lost 6 times.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. 6 times already lost. They're about to, as I speak, Moya straight off the kickoff again, extending their lead in this third game. Lanners just couldn't do much with the kickoff, nor could Sten. That's very unfortunate, but let's go back to what we were speaking about. Lanners coming into the series, coming into playoffs, only had lost 8 games, and in total, which is, very good achievement by a team to do. But so far they're approaching that 8th goal. They currently lost 6 games in total, like you said, and for them to approach their 8th goal, maybe going out of playoffs with an 8-goal loss as well, it's just going to be a bit upsetting for them.
But they are 2-0 up in this third game of the series, and perhaps that is just a little too much confidence on the part of eMerge Charlie as they overextended on those first couple of kickoffs of the game. And it's given Lanners a lead to sit on at the moment, which is not something we've been able to say for them at many points at all today. Indeed, it is their first lead of this series coming in the third game. A 2-goal lead, and they're definitely coming forwards a bit more. They might make it 3 as Stenkovic can't keep that shot out from Spylaw, and it's a third on the board for the Lanners.
What a pop by Moyad as well. Was that a pinch? Wait, that looked like a pinch by Spylaw and Moyad. 120 kilometers per hour. It's straight into the top bins. Too quick for Stenkovic to save it. What a shot that was.
No saves yet for eMerge Charlie, and no shots on target at the other end either, just not acting as well as they did in the first couple of games of this series. They can afford to let it slip away, of course. 2-1 series lead isn't the end of the world, of course, after 3 games against a team of Lanners' quality in league play. But I think they're going to want to at least get themselves a goal or 2 on the board in this game, because it's looking like the most dominant game of the series so far, and Lanners are not the team that should be pulling it off on paper based on what we've seen.
It is Stenkovic now to try to apply some pressure for eMerge as the ball gets cleared. Miller now can't find a touch into the middle. Sten will pop it into the corner. Beresford's waiting, keeping the ball into that side as Stenkovic now trying to find the brilliant play. Doesn't do so. Miller just an awkward touch back into the corner. It goes into the middle now, but Spylow's waiting. Vlauns now going up high for this. A bit high. Well, yeah. Nonetheless, Spylaw still keeping and applying some pressure for Lanners as Moyad popping it straight into the middle. Miller's waiting, a bit too wide as Stenkovic gets blocked by Spylaw.
Stenkovic from the halfway line tries to flick the ball further forwards. Stopped dead by Miller, but now here comes Stenkovic into the far corner. Chance on perhaps for a centre ball. Moyad clears over to the wing. Beresford sends it right back. eMerge Charlie just knocking on the door a little bit here. They've got just under half of game 3 to work with, and a 3-goal deficit to erase. How close can they get? Stenkovic off the back for Beresford to make it 3-1. The clock is still on their side.
Stenkovic, what a pass that was, popping over both defenders, and Beresford just popping it under Moya. And now it is 3-1 in the game score. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock. Will they be able to equalize the game? Of course they will, if they have the motivation to do so. And now with 1 goal in, it should be enough to go for 2.
And indeed, they have possession in the half where they want it, but Moyad negotiates that area of the pitch well into the far corner where Stenkovic has collected the 100 boost, and you can see they've got an eye for goal from distance. 2 defenders rotating back on near post. Now Blount to push a ball centrally. Gets the extra touch on it as well. Stankovic is in there for the follow-up. Beresford jumps early, goes for the dunk, hits the bar.
No.
Blount is there for the follow-up, but misses. A big chance there for eMerge Charlie, but they keep going. Beresford flicks another ball back into the centre. Stankovic drops it down for Blount with another shot. This one hits the post, and Lanners can breathe a sigh of relief. They are keeping their 2-goal lead intact, but now Stankovic with another chance, and a vital clearance made by Spylaw. Huge chances for eMerge Charlie, but they don't break through.
The mistakes from Lanners earlier on doesn't seem to be there anymore. They are not double committing, they're not panicking in defense, they're staying calm, they're cool and everything. They have the confidence and motivation to keep on going. It is just brilliant to see that they have hopefully woken up from these 2 series. But it is now Blount trying to clear the ball into the side. He does do so, gets it past Miller, can't get it past the last defender though, as he unfortunately sends it back into his own half. As Beresford goes high up for it, can't really find a touch for it though. As Blount now leaves the ball a bit, goes to challenge it, no one's pushing him. As Stenkovic gets a brilliant clear, 30 seconds left on the clock. Blount now into the middle. Beresford's there, can't get it past Miller. Stenkovic now can't really get a brilliant pass out to the middle either.
15 seconds to go. Lanners coming forward looking to seal this game off. Demo in front of the net for Spylaw to thump it in, making it 4-1 with 11 seconds to go. That is going to be game 3, done and dusted for the Lanners under immense amounts of pressure in the middle stretches of the game, but held on defensively. It's the first time they've really managed to do that in these playoffs in entirety. This is going to be a real confidence restoring win for them, but they're not going to be out of the woods yet. They'll still be 2-1 down in the series heading into the next game. They need another win.
Yeah, if they keep on playing this aggressively and just extend it, they should be able to, get that game win and tie things up in the series. Maybe even extend the series from this on. But hey, the mistakes weren't there from Lanners this time. It was just really unfortunate to see some goals go in on eMerge Charlie. But great defense by Lanners. I mean, look at that save. There was so much pressure up by eMerge Charlie as well. And Lanners just stood there and just kept their calm, kept cool, and just told eMerge, hey, this ball, it doesn't fit with our half, we'll send it back at yours. Is that okay? Alright, let's do that.
Yeah, I think those first couple of goals at the beginning of the game, they came in just 11 seconds, and it really set the tone for the rest of the game. You could just see the confidence in Lanners, their players. It ballooned when they actually had a lead to sit on. They've spent too much of this series trying to come from behind, and eMerge Charlie, their task was just a little too difficult in that game. But it's an opportunity for a fresh start for them in this 4th game of the series, and they can still go 3-1 up overall. So I think the momentum is still with eMerge Charlie after the strong start that they had, and Lanners with the knowledge that if they lose this series they're going to be eliminated. So it's a real pendulum swinger of a game, this one, because if Lanners fight back to tie it up at 2, they're going to be the favourites from there on out.
Spylaw now trying to apply some pressure for Lanners, gets demoed by Stenkovic in the process. Moya now applying some pressure of his own. Beresford with a clear. Spylaw is left alone. Moya gets a brilliant demo on Beresford. Sten now high up on this, tries to drop it in, he can't do so. Blount's back onto the back foot. Sten trying to go for a demo or a bump, can't find either of those. Spylaw now into the middle, it goes. Miller's waiting, brilliant block by Sten, as Blount will be the one to clear it away.
Blount's now from the ceiling, dunks the ball down, looking for Beresford. This shot's on target, but too central, easily savable for Spylaw in the end. And now Spylaw going for goal from distance! 1-0 to the Lanners. A wonderful start to this game for them. End-to-end stuff for Spylaw, and just had the accuracy from a long way out.
What a shot by Spylaw from his own half, as well on the wall, straight into the open net. Bullseye, and it is 1-0 in the game. Now Sten trying to just clear the ball out of his own half, can't really do much as it goes into his own corner. Moja tossing it into the middle, Stankovic now getting a brilliant clear. Blount is waiting, can't really do much. Miller gets it past him. Miller taking his time. A demo attempt by Spylaw, he does get it! Leaving the net open for Myler.
Great comms and even better patience there from Miller. You can see that Spylaw made the call. I said, I'm going in for this demo, just wait up. And Miller does exactly that and then puts the shot home, making it 2-0 to the Lanners, and their confidence is definitely blooming at the moment. A 2-0 lead again as they opened up in game 3. It's taken them a bit longer this time, but eMerge Charlie, I don't think they were tested defensively too much in the first couple of games of the series. They seem to fare best when they're piling on pressure in the other end and keeping possession in that offensive third, but there's been questions asked of them in the defensive third that they haven't really answered yet.
Oh!
They are going to pull a goal back here as Stankovic gets one on the board though. 2-1 with 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go. Blount does all the work in the corner, and then Miller's clear is handed to Stankovic on a plate.
What a bump by Blount as well, straight off the pass into the middle. Just sends Moja, I believe it was. Either Moja or... Yeah, no. It was Miller, I don't remember, but hey, what a bump by Blount nonetheless. 1 goal deficit it is, and Spylaw now trying to apply some pressure into the backboard. Goes Blount waiting as Moja sends it straight back into the middle. Stankovic missing, but Beresford was ready for it nonetheless. Moja going for the midfield pass, no one is there to follow it up. Miller into the backboard, Blount was waiting as Beresford is there with the clear. That's an open net, actually, never mind. Moja we just cut in and say no, you won't get it. As now Moja just passing it into Stankovic, unfortunately, as the ball now drops into the middle for Beresford to maybe score. He does do so and ties things up.
Well, Spylaw's pretty unlucky there, I have to say. They get the touch on him, but it's not enough to keep that shot out. Beresford got it downwards just enough that it made the angle of the save difficult for Spylaw. And eMerge Charlie level game 4 on exactly the halfway point. This is such a swing game of the series now. If eMerge Charlie can go 3-1 up, they're going to have ample opportunity to win the series from there on out. Lanners attempting to rally from 2-0 down overall, got the first game win. Now they've let a 2-0 lead slip away in the second. Defensively, they were very strong in the previous game, but just struggling a bit in this one. Might have an opportunity to break forwards on the counter-attack. It's Miller looking for the net. Now Spylaw takes over and will have an angle to shoot. Blount's out very early from the goal line to make that block. Now Stankovic into the far corner where Mojad is waiting to take it on. Tries to go the aerial route here from the ceiling, looking for an angle to make the clearance. Takes the ball past Beresford, but eMerge Charlie put up a wall on the halfway line. Now Blount with the shot. Drags 2 defenders off of the goal mouth. Beresford pushes the ball back into the corner, looking from the ceiling for an angle to the net. Stankovic may just have found it, but didn't have enough power behind that one. Spylaw will make the save.
Brilliant demo by Blount here as well as Beresford tries to apply some more pressure, putting it into the middle. As Miller can't really do much. That's a great pass by Sten. Blount's nearly finding it. Moja with the pop straight back into Beresford as now he tries to do something with the ball. Moja getting demoed straight after that touch on the ball. Stankovic getting past one. That's a demo on one of the defenders. Moja is quick to send it away from danger as Beresford now tries to apply some more pressure, passing it into Stankovic. Stankovic nearly getting bumped by Miller. That's a shot on target. Moja gets the save.
1 minute to go now, still level at 2. The next goal is such an important one. Will it come for eMerge Charlie? That one is deflected over the bar, I believe, by Blount in front. They'll want to make amends for that. There is a pass into the middle from Stankovic for someone to try and latch onto. Everybody from Lanners is committed over to this left wing right now. Stankovic in the middle is going to float one towards the net. Mojad gets just enough of a touch on it. Now Spylaw helps it on, but Beresford piles into the play to send it right back. Miller is in some trouble in the corner, looking for Blount in front. It's the post. Rebound falls for Beresford, but instead it's Mojad to clear. Now Lanners looking forward on the counter-attack as there's less than 30 seconds to go. Spylaw sends a pass into the middle. Mojad will take over on the left wing and collects the 100 boost, trying to drag it infield. Brings it downwards, off the crossbar in front of the net. can't capitalise on the chance, but Lanners continuing to come forward with 10 seconds to go. This is a huge moment in the series. Can they make good on it? In front for Moyad! 5 seconds left and they lead 3-2.
What a moment now. Lewis Miller just getting the perfect touch on the ball, straight on the backboard as well, dropping it perfectly for Moyad to possibly grab the game win. 5 seconds left on the clock, already off the kickoff. The ball goes to Sten's favor. He goes for a double touch. He goes for something, trying to just stay alive in this game. Beresford keeping it alive, but the ball drops as Lanners grabs that 4th game.
Well, where are we headed from this point onwards in the series? We are tied at 2. It's a best of 3 from here on out. Lanners have fought back. They've shown us why they were the champions of Division 2.2 in league play, and they have won consecutive games in this series to recover. We will head into a 5th game coming up, and I have to ask you the question. Our predictions at the beginning of the series went in opposing directions. I went for Lanners, you went for eMerge Charlie. Do you still think that eMerge Charlie have what it takes to win the rest of this best of 7, or are Lanners on the fight back?
Oh dear. From the beginning of the series, I chose eMerge Charlie as, Lanners coming into the series was on the best of, their mindset. They lost the series. They came into playoff with a 9-0 record. But so far, Lanners seems to have picked up their pace. But I still do believe eMerge Charlie will wake up from this. They had a cushion. They were winning 2-0. And then they just, they just slacked off a bit. And Lanners realized it and decided, hey, let's just put some pressure on them. I do believe eMerge Charlie still has it. They must have woken up at this point, realizing, oh shoot, it's tied up again. If we take 2 more games, we'll be able to move on. So I'm still with eMerge Charlie. I'm still with them. I have my hopes up for them. I believe they will take it.
Well, the good news for eMerge Charlie is even in these couple of games of the series that they've lost, they've still looked very dangerous going forwards, and they've certainly put Lanners under massive amounts of pressure. Lanners haven't quite done the same, but you could argue that that's because eMerge Charlie are letting in those initial shots, and we're not getting to see those rebound opportunities because the goals are scored too soon. Game 5 of this series will tell a big story as to how these two teams are doing in the remainder of the evening. Of course, the winner of this series has still got one more best of 7 to fight through coming up before they can call themselves a participant in Champions Sunday. Neo Tokyo, 5th game of the series. Lanners attempting to turn their 2-0 series deficit now into a 3-2 series lead. eMerge Charlie, the underdogs and the lower seeds, have got to try and find a way to win 2 more games in this series, and they are running out of opportunities to do that.
Now Blount's trying to clear some things off as Spilo nearly sneaking one into the middle for one of his teammates. Moyad now going for a pass. Gets bumped in the process. Miller going for the shot, but sent away by Blount. Stankovic now on the follow-up sends it away really brilliantly. That's an open net. Spilo is quick to turn on it. Gets another touch straight over Blount as Beresford now goes for the shot a bit too wide. Moyad would send it back into his own corner. Blount trying to do something useful with the ball, can't really do so. Stankovic into the middle. Blount's already getting a demo to open things up. Another demo by Stankovic, but nothing seems to be going their way.
Scoreless first minute of Game 5. You can feel the tension in the air between these two teams at the moment. Both sides know how important this game of the series is now after that Lanners comeback in the previous 2. There's a bump in front of the net and Beresford had an opportunity to shoot. Moyad snuffed that opportunity out. Into the corner it was sent. Now over the opposite wing. Blount is there to push a ball into the middle, and it is a favourable bounce, but Lanners are starting to get that single defender back, and it's making a difference for them defensively. Moyad now. Miller takes over though, and it's Beresford to shoot. Early block made by Moyad. eMerge Charlie are on top of proceedings at the moment, but they're going to want the goal to show for it. All this offensive pressure is no good if you don't actually take the lead.
No.
And Lanners will come back on the counter-attack and make it 1-0. Moyad on the pass from Miller off the backboard, straight down the middle into an open net at the other end.
The half-flip whiff by Stankovic, just preventing him from getting that save as Moyad grabs the lead for Miller. Not Miller, Lanners, sorry. And it is now Blount taking the ball, trying to go for an infield pass. He doesn't find anyone, but that's a pass by Moya, but he's quick to block and save. Oh, well, redeemed from his mistake as Spino now popping into the middle. Blount is waiting. Beresford still applying some pressure. No one is there to follow up his pass as Blount now trying to take his time. Moya's just cutting that dangerously as well. That's a drop by Spilo, and it's 2-0 for Lanners.
Another 2-0 lead for Lanners. This is the third consecutive game that it's happened now. eMerge Charlie just seems to be getting going too late in these games. They need to be scoring the first goals and setting the tone, as they did in the first couple of games of the series. But it's all Lanners at the moment here in Neo Tokyo. eMerge Charlie in danger of being behind in this series for the first time. They could even be 3-0 down in this game. Loose ball in front of the net, and Bounds gets just enough on that clearance into the far corner. Running low on boost as they try and slip through the defenders in midfield. Beresford will take over into the corner and now sent back to the halfway line by Miller. Moyad tried to get a flick on it. They may have done just enough to put off the defender as Bounds had to dodge a demo in front of their own net, but they do get the save. It still looks like it's Lanners' game to lose, though. They look more likely to go 3-0 up than eMerge Charlie are to pull a goal back.
Oh, Beresford, that's a pass into the middle. Nothing or something you don't want to do, as Blount just saves his team from murder once again. Now Stenkovic trying to get a pass when he does do so, trying to find an infield pass. Beresford helps him on the way. Blount gets a pass out into the middle. Miller finds a brilliant touch, can't really do much with it. Beresford already on the follow-up. Stenkovic just waiting. Blount again quick on that possession.
Lowndes now towards the middle. Beresford will step in to make the clear, but it's Moyad instead to take over as we have just over 90 seconds to go in this game. Lanners sitting pretty on their 2-goal advantage, might even get a third now. Redirect across the net isn't capitalised on. Mylor into the corner up to the ceiling where Stenkovic clears. Lowndes just trying to get any contact on this ball, but shots on target have been few and far between for eMerge Charlie. Just 2 in this game so far, as opposed to the 8 that Lanners have. The team in blue is rolling on towards a 3-2 series lead at the moment. Beresford off the ceiling, but again, there's nobody there to follow it up. Lowndes will be into the play now. Drops the ball down in front of the net. Stenkovic is in there, but nothing is going to come of it.
Already, both teams just trying to find openings within each other's defense. So far, nothing good is coming out. No bombs or anything. Well, one side is just trying to, secure it with the 2-0 win. The other side is just trying desperately just to tie things up. 30 seconds left on the clock. Miller with a clear. Beresford cuts it off as Spilo just puts it back into the own half.
20 seconds to go. Moyad towards the net. Stenkovic is up to clear, but with 15 seconds left, this is Lanners' game. They are on the verge of shutting out eMerge Charlie, and that represents a very impressive performance indeed. Lowndes, as they are doing anything they can to get forwards and at least pull one back, but it's not coming together for eMerge Charlie in this game. They are going to want to leave Neo Tokyo as quickly as possible and move on to the next game of the series, because they have let a 2-0 series lead slip away. Lanners are now in front, and to their credit, they've started winning when they needed to after a pretty poor start to the evening.
What a start, yeah. First half was a bit bad, but they seem to have motivation now. They fixed everything they had to do. The defense, the trust, the communication, everything about Lanners, it seems to go their way now. And we're going to be heading over to match point for Lanners. Ladies and gentlemen, eMerge Charlie from the beginning looked very promising. Got Buster clinching and clutching that first game for eMerge, and the second one as well. Very close game, but eMerge ended up taking it. Now 3 games in a row going to Lanners, by the way. Now match point in Aquadome. Will they be able to finish things off here, or will eMerge Charlie still fight back?
Opportunity to move on to the third round of the lower bracket for Lanners, who were eliminated from the winners bracket by Trinitas, but now find themselves in the driver's seat in what is left of this series. eMerge Charlie are going to have to produce a fight back of their own to remain in these playoffs. It won't be the run they'll have been hoping for. They'll be regretting thinking about how they had a 2-0 series lead and let it slip away, and having to watch the rest of the Division 2 playoffs as a neutral spectator, Aquadome is the location where they must find a victory to take us to Game 7. Lowndes into the far corner as they are applying some early pressure, but the pressure is not turning into goals as frequently as it did earlier in this series. Stankovic, only 86 points in the previous game for him. He's usually a good creative outlet for the team. They need more from him, and that is an unfortunate bump that Lowndes has taken, as we have 45 seconds gone in the game, but still nothing on the board for eMerge Charlie.
No, nothing on the board for Lanners either. Both teams just fighting now really hard. Lanners just trying to end things up here, whilst eMerge Charlie still wants to be in, in playoffs. eMerge Charlie made it as a 4th. Oi, oi, oi! What a save by Moya! May I just cut in there and say, brilliant squishy save just to keep things stable.
Yeah, that was a crazy save. They actually pinched it off the ground to keep the ball out of the net there. They didn't even get clean contact on the ball, keeping it 0-0. Now Lanners have had some opportunities to go forwards. Lowndes was looking for the shot there, but it was Moyad who got across to make the save, and they're charging down the wing looking for a through ball from Miller at the back. Miller does eventually get the touch forward, but it's too late. eMerge Charlie stepping forwards as Beresford goes for a high aerial challenge. Spylor, though, is the next player to shoot on target. Lowndes made it difficult for himself in front of the net, but got the contact he needed. Miller takes over on the offense, drops a pass on into Moyad, who goes to dribble it, keeps the ball tight to their car, but eventually lets it skip away as the eMerge player made a strong challenge. This game could well be one goal and we decide a winner.
Yes, sir, it's looking to be like that, and either goes into overtime 0-0, and then that's going to be more intense as well. One goal will be the decider in this game, in this case.
Up to the halfway line now, it's Moyad to try and send it back. Lowndes from the ceiling. Stankovic may have a room to drag the ball towards the net. Spylor is in there to clear instead, though. It's Beresford as we are past the halfway point of Game 6 here in Aquadome. Lanners still have that series advantage, and I think they're still relatively comfortable at the moment. A goal could change that very quickly, though. Beresford trying to read this bounce from the ceiling, and another great save by Moyad. Miller looked to flick this ball on. Spylor, Lowndes trying to fake them out. That's very dangerous in front. Moyad tried to get the next shot on target, but couldn't bring it home. Dangerous times for eMerge Charlie.
Oh no! That might be the decider right there. Stankovic whiffing on defense there as Moyad grabs the lead for Lanners. What an unfortunate miss there by Stankovic.
Well, Lowndes has got 4 saves in this game. He's going to be wondering how the rest of his team is defensively as Stankovic makes the vital mistake there. Now eMerge Charlie have to respond in regulation. They need at least a goal in the next minute 50. The pressure has ramped up enormously after they've lost 3 consecutive games in a row and now are in danger of there being a 4th. Beresford tries to launch the ball forwards. Moyad under good pressure defensively, but he's managed to negotiate with a touch to the offensive corner. Spylor from the ceiling is looking for Miller in front, and Miller has missed it. Possible chance for eMerge Charlie on the counter-attack here, but Moyad snuffs it out. Possession in midfield has been dominated by the Lanners in these last couple of games or so. No opportunities for eMerge Charlie to create chances from nothing. They're having to work so hard every time they get the ball forwards, as you can see Beresford chasing the ball down without boost. Spylor now to take over into the far corner, off the backboard looking for Lowndes as we have just over a minute to go. eMerge Charlie still down by a goal, at least temporarily. Stankovic is going to look for the net with this one. Lowndes was in there to respond with the follow-up. Stankovic trying to pass back to their teammate, but nothing is going here as we have 50 seconds left.
Now it is 50 seconds, and the only goal that seems to be the decider currently is Lanners. The goal by Moya to end things off early on now it seems might be the deciding point. As you mentioned, this is going to be interesting to see how eMerge will try to fight back at this point. Spylor now whiffing, that's an open net for Beresford, but he can't find contact on it. Lowndes either, he can't finish it off. It is the last 15 seconds on the game. Might be the series as well as Stankovic drops it down for Moya. That's an open net for Stankovic to equalise the game. We might see overtime.
Oh boy, there was 8 seconds left in eMerge Charlie's season there, but Stankovic kept his cool and rifled the ball into an open net to get the leveller. Lanners was so close to clutching out the series there, a 4-2 victory for them, but now it's 1-1 with 8 seconds to go. Will we have a winner before the OT? eMerge Charlie trying to force game 7, Lanners trying to win the series. Moyad going for the drag over the top, Lowndes was equal to it. Beresford's touch hits the ground. OT in game 6, the first of the series. Will it be the last?
That's a good question indeed. Straight off the kickoff, Spylaw trying to apply some pressure. Beresford popping into the side. Stankovic with a block. Vlauns another block on Miller. Stankovic can't find a follow-up. Beresford will help him out. As Beresford now trying to pop it into the middle, can't really do much. Vlauns popping it into him as well. Double commit in the defense there. Vlauns popping it straight into the middle. A team bomb by Lanners, but gets saved and sent away by Miller. As Beresford now desperately trying to end things here in overtime and clinch to that victory. Vlauns popping it straight down. Spylo is there waiting. Stankovic getting the bump. Beresford now waiting, grabbing the ball, takes his time, gets bumped in the process, but the ball is in the blue off. Miller taking his time. That's a double commit from the orange side. Moyad trying to pop it into the middle, can't do much.
Lowndes now takes possession on as we go past a minute of OT here in game 6. Chances for both sides, but mostly eMerge Charlie, who are desperate to take it to game 7. Spylaw trying to go the distance there with that touch. They're going to run into Lowndes on the way back. Miller goes for the net. Now Stankovic loops it clear into the far corner. Lowndes looking for the demo on Moyad, but Moyad's too fast for him. Double commit there from eMerge Charlie on the left wing. Lowndes has got an important touch to make and he does get it forwards. Spylaw has missed it. Lowndes will chase it down into the far corner and he gets the block. But Moyad has enough to send that one away. No chances on net in the last 30 seconds. Spylaw could have one here, but they decide to track back instead. Miller will look for the pass and Spylaw takes over. Beresford clears from the ceiling.
So far, both teams are looking very desperate, keeping the ball to themselves, playing critical. One side is trying to win the series, the other is trying to stay alive in the playoffs. With Miller, that's not a... Oi, 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 that's not a flick you want to do, but brilliant save by Moyad to, keep Lanners alive in this OT. Lowndes just left awkward in the air. Moyad into the middle now, gets another touch. Beresford with the block, keeps their hopes alive. Spylaw now can't really find a touch on the ball as Stankovic goes for a shot, a bit too soft as Spylaw, will just send it away.
eMerge Charlie showing terrific resilience. Their season is on the line here. It could all come to an end if they concede the next goal, but they continue to fight, trying to take us to a 7th game. This is a good ball in off the back ball from Stankovic, cleared into the corner. Now Lowndes. Beresford waiting on the halfway line for their opportunity to take possession. It's going to have to be now. There's a loop through ball. Miller's looking for this one. It's coming downwards and Stankovic gets just enough of a touch. Moyad has missed it. Beresford! Game 7! eMerge Charlie level proceedings.
What a pass by Stankovic as well, getting that save into Beresford, where he just puts it into that open net. We see a game 7 of this series.
Unbelievable. First game 7 of these Division 2 playoffs and a series that is richly deserving of one. eMerge Charlie looked down and out earlier in this game. It looked like Lanners were seeing out that series victory in 6. They had all the momentum, all the confidence, all the opportunities on net. But eMerge Charlie found that late equaliser, and then the OT, they hang on in a couple of squeaky moments and finds the victory from distance. Beresford with the finish. Game 7 coming up.
Wow, what a series this is going to be. The final game in Champions Field. One of these teams will move on to the loser bracket finals, and of course that's going to be later on. No, that's going to be tomorrow. Nonetheless, it is the final game. Lanners up against eMerge Charlie. Lanners, will they be able to cling on to playoffs, or will eMerge Charlie just fight back and take it away from him? Beresford getting demoed straight off the bat as Lowndes now trying to clear things up. He does do so into Stankovic, but Spylaw will cut things up. Lowndes is forced to put it into the middle. Moyad's waiting, gets an awkward touch. That's into the middle. No one's there to follow it up. as Spino now can't get a block. Stankovic going for another one, can't do so as Miller gets a clear into the orange half. Beresford can't really do much. That's a miss from the opponent, as Stankovic will happily send it away into the blue corner now, dropping into the middle. No one's challenging it. Miller finally goes up for it. Beresford is there with a shot, a bit too wide as it hits the post.
Stankovic now with the follow-up opportunity, but it's Spylor to receive it instead, as we have a scoreless first 45 seconds of Game 7. This could be a chance on for eMerge Charlie, as it's Flounce, blocked down by Spylor, but Beresford is there to score another crucial goal for eMerge Charlie. They lead the 7th game.
What a block by Flounce, opening things up for Beresford as well. Top corner, 103 kilometers per hour. They grabbed the lead in game number 7 with more than 4 minutes left on the clock. A lot of time for Lanners to come back.
It has been a while now though since Lanners scored that goal in Game 6 to give themselves the lead. A lengthy remainder of regulation and OT that eMerge Charlie have been the side on top in, and now they lead Game 7 as well. Beresford looks so confident as they go for the drag here towards the net. Vlauns will get another opportunity to shoot. It's blocked down from the ceiling. Bobbles up at the halfway line. Miller will take it on. Moyad looks for the redirect. It hits the bar. Huge chance there. But it's Spylor. Saved by Stankovic on the line. Big opportunities for Lanners. They're not done yet. Moyad goes for the pinch from the ceiling, and that one will hit the post. Spylor finally finishes it off. Huge opportunities for Lanners, and they do finally tie up Game 7.
What an interesting game this already is. You know, Spylor finally grabbing that equalizer for Lanners, nearly missing it as well. But hey, it rolled in, it works, tied up. Beresford now can't really beat Miller on the kickoff as Spylor leaves it. Stankovic trying to block out Moya, can't really do so as he gets fakes as Flounce leaves it for Beresford. Beresford now with the clear into Spylor. Unfortunately, Flounce is there, quick to block out the pinch as well. Moya popping into the middle. Stankovic tries to help Beresford out in the offense. Can't really do so currently as Flounce gets a touch into Miller as Beresford turns now into Spylor. Spylor trying to pass it to one of his teammates. Stankovic cuts it off as Flounce gets faked by Spylor to miss.
Miller looking for the pass centrally. Beresford clears. Miller up very early there, rotating back far side, and they get a touch that sends Lanners into the far corner as they aiming to take their lead for the first time in Game 7. Miller, full boost to work with, carries the ball up towards the ceiling and dunks a pass down into the centre, which Flounce cuts out. Creative work to get the ball back to the halfway line, but Lanners are keeping the pressure on. Moyad looking for the demo here on Stankovic. They're not going to get it. Now Flounce sends the ball a long way forwards. Beresford is in there to try and get a touch on it. Lanners hold their defensive line well. Now a ball into the far corner by Stankovic. Gets the extra touch on it as well. There could be a chance on here for eMerge Charlie. Beresford was hoping to put the pass into the mixer, but instead it remains 1-1 as we have just over 2 minutes to go in Game 7. We are edging closer and closer to a potential OT, but the next goal becomes increasingly more important.
Now Moya trying to apply some pressure on the eMerge Charlie side. Can't really do much. Miller now trying to pass it. Beresford with the clear Flounce. Now going for a demo or a bomb. Can't really find it. Stankovic going for the shot. Miller with the save. Keeps it tied up as Spylor going for a double touch. Not enough boost to complete it. Or will finish it, sorry. As Moya now going for a pinch. It doesn't get it, but into his own corner this time. Moya grabbing the boost. Trying to go for the clear. He does get it. Flounce just cutting Beresford off as we approach that 80-second mark as Stankovic pops it into Spylor. That's a brilliant pass out by Spylor. Brilliant fake as well, but Stankovic won't fall for it. Good bump by Miller, but Flounce is there with a shot, saved and sent away by Miller.
1 minute to go. One of these players is going to make themselves a hero. There's a big chance on for Stankovic there. Vlauns is in for the follow-up. Might be an angle. Can't get the shot all the way on target. It's eMerge Charlie at the moment who press forwards. Moyad with a good clear as far as the halfway line, but sent straight back by Vlauns. A save to make for Miller. Off the ceiling it bounces. Stankovic has an awkward touch, but he managed to keep the ball rolling forwards. Now an extra touch into the corner, and he's got the angle for the pass. Moyad blocks up with an awkward clearance. There's a scramble for this ball in the far corner. Lowndes has gotten the better of it. Spider was looking for the shot. 30 seconds to go. Lowndes gets a demo on the line. Miller's the only back at the moment. Now Moyad spawns in the corner. Carnage in front of the net for Lanners, the Division 2.2 champions, hanging on by a thread at the moment. Beresford wins the ball back at the halfway line. Now there's a chance for Moyad to send it forwards. Lowndes! Oh dear, that's on target, and Stenkovic gets the save. Huge defence in there from eMerge Charlie. 10 seconds to go before OT. Stenkovic from distance is going to float one towards the net. A Hail Mary pass for eMerge Charlie that's not going to go. Miller looks for a shot from distance. Lowndes is going to keep the ball up at the halfway line. Moyad keeps this one in the air.
Lowndes.
Now Lowndes to shoot. It's on target. eMerge Charlie into the third round of the lower bracket. This is Division 2.
What a series this was! As soon as it looked to be an overtime in Game 7, Lowndes just shuts it off and moves on with eMerge Charlie further into playoffs.
Unbelievable.
Holy!
It doesn't get any better than that.
Oh my gosh! What a comeback by eMerge Charlie. You know, 3 games they lost. And they were losing that match point game as well. They came back and won in overtime. They kept their cool. And oh boy, what a finish that was. GG's to everyone. Unfortunate loss for Lanners as they came into playoffs. Well, as mentioned before, with a 9-0 series score. Now getting sent away. Possibly playing the promotion relegation game. I'm unsure. But GG's to eMerge Charlie. We'll be seeing them tomorrow. But that has been Division 2 now, correct, Herbie?
I believe that the next game up is actually on the main channel. Cosmos Odysseum versus eMerge Charlie is going to be the last match of the day in the Division 2 playoffs. That's going to be over on the Slipstream EU main channel, as one of those two sides will get the opportunity to force their way into Championship Sunday. Be difficult to look past eMerge Charlie after the heroics that they produced there. Game 7 in Champions Field, they have knocked out the top seeds, Lanners, from Division 2.2. They are going to move on into the next round and will have a big chance to make it to the lower bracket final. A fantastic series, but that is it from Slipstream EU 2 for the time being. We're going to be back in just under an hour's time as the Division 1 playoffs get underway. But for now, from myself and Victor, thank you for watching. Head over to the main channel for the next series.